Okay, everybody, now it's time to play Jeopardy Deluxe Edition for the SNES. Right now, in the birthday bank for everybody, they've got $641,893.
This is Jeopardy!
Here we go. We want 50 grand to break it up. We got Rob and Jenny facing me. Let's play.
Here are the categories.
Categories for Jeopardy round are going to be TV reruns, literature, famous educators, art, we have leftovers, and finally, Middle East. Okay. Decent categories. Let's start things off with art for 100.
The answer is...
And the answer there is... As seen in her style, American artist Mary Cassatt studied with Impressionists in this city. What is Paris? Let's have art for 200.
The answer is...
Around 1535, Michelangelo began The Last Judgment, a fresco on the wall of this room. Oh, I think I know it. The Sistine Chapel. Oh, I wanted to go with that, but I wasn't sure enough. But anyway, we'll move on. Leftovers for 100.
The answer is...
Some say the art of topiary gardening was invented in this empire by a friend of Augustus. What is the Holy Roman Empire? Let's take leftovers for 200.
The answer is...
The 40-day display of Dukakis' wax figure was the shortest in this London museum's history. What is, Madame Tussauds? Let's have leftovers for 300.
The answer is...
Embroidery stitches will be more regular if the fabric is held taut in one of these. First time we hear from Jenny this game. Let's see if she knows this. A hoop. A hoop. Yep. Literature for 100.
The answer is...
The first line of Gone with the Wind says that this character was not beautiful. Who's Scarlett O'Hara? I'll have literature for 200.
The answer is...
Part 1 of this Robert Louis Stevenson novel is entitled The Old Buccaneer. What is... Treasure Island? There you go. Literature for 300.
The answer is...
The hero of this J.D. Salinger novel had a precocious little sister named Phoebe. What is the Catcher in the Rye? Literature for 400, please.
The answer is...
His 1925 novel, An American Tragedy, was based on a real-life murder case. Oh, who wrote An American Tragedy? Oh, Rob has no idea, so he's gonna drop. Jenny. Theodore Dreiser. Oh, that's right. Theodore Dreiser. Leftovers for 400.
The answer is.
This woodwind instrument has been described as a clarinet with a cold in its chest. What is an oboe? No. What is a bassoon? Yeah. Leftovers for 500, please.
The answer is.
First name of Mr. Bartlett, whose familiar quotations is a standard reference work. Oh. Jenny. John. Art for 300.
The answer is.
American folk artist whose first paintings were copies of Currier and Ives prints. Rob doesn't know. Grandma Moses. Oh, okay. Famous educators, 100.
The answer is.
He taught Alexander the Great and founded the Lyceum. Who is, Plato? That is incorrect. Aristotle. Oh, okay. Art for 400.
The answer is.
It's the art of carving whalebone. Rob. Scrimshaw. And that'll get you out of the hole. Literature for 500.
The answer is.
Turgenev's greatest novel, relatively speaking. Rob. Father and Sons.
The answer is.
Milton, this president's brother, was president of Kansas State, Penn State, and Johns Hopkins. Dwight Eisenhower. Art 5. Daily double. And your chance to take second place. Here's the clue in art. Noted surrealist Rene Magritte was from this low country, and it's Belgium, and you got second place. Famous educators, 300.
The answer is.
For 47 years, this Massachusetts educator remained Helen Keller's teacher and companion. And it was Anne Sullivan Macy. Rob, back to you. TV reruns for 100.
The answer is.
She was bottled in Baghdad some 2,000 years ago by the Blue Jean. Who is Jeannie? TV reruns for 200.
The answer is.
On the Addams Family, this long-haired cousin hung around in the chimney. Who is it? TV reruns for 300.
The answer is.
Working for Bill Davis, Giles French acted as nanny to Sissy and these twins. Rob. Buffy and Jody. Correct. Middle East for 100.
The answer is...
War broke out on September 22nd, 1980, when fighter bombers from this nation attacked 10 Iranian airfields. What is Iraq? Middle East for 200.
The answer is...
The building of Aswan High Dam in the 1960s was financed by loans from this country. What is the USSR? Soviet Union, we'll take it. Middle East for 300.
The answer is...
Of all the Arab countries, this one has the highest percentage of Christians, about 40%. What is Jordan? No. Oh, I figured it out. Why not? It's, well, Jenny doesn't know. Ha ha. Wrong. Rob. It's Lebanon. Yeah, I should have gone with that. It was Lebanon. So Rob has $2,000. Middle East for 400.
The answer is...
This country's national airline is Alia. I think now might be the time for, I think now's the time for what is Jordan. Correct. Tied for first place. The Middle East for 500, please.
The answer is...
In 1941, Syria gained its independence from this European country. What is France? Could we go with TV reruns for 400?
The answer is...
If you ask Phil Donahue who's that girl, he'd give you her name. Who's Marlo Thomas? $500, please.
The answer is...
Laugh-In regulars Larry Hovis and Richard Dawson were both regulars on this sitcom. What is Hogan's Heroes? Famous educators for 400.
The answer is...
Canadian communications professor famous for his maxim, the medium is the message. What's his name? Learned about him too. McLuhan. Who's Marshall McLuhan? Yep, now the last clue.
The answer is...
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, author and founder of California Kindergarten Training School. Jenny. Kate Wiggin. So Jenny, you're at 1,700. Rob has 2,000. And I'm in the lead with 3,800. Jenny, you're going first in Double Jeopardy, which we will play. Let's do it.
Here are the categories.
And we have these as our categories for Double Jeopardy. History, maps, Potpourri, notice P-O-T in quotation marks. Education. Famous quotes, and finally, cartoons. Alright. Let's begin. Potpourri for 200.
The answer is
One dictionary politely defines it as a protruding abdominal region. What is a potbelly? Potpourri for 400. Daily double. Let's bet it all. For $8,000 or nothing at all, here's the clue in potpourri. On Jeopardy, this category is similar to potpourri or hodgepodge. What is potluck? Potpourri for 600.
the answer is
A mixture of meat and veggies in a pastry crust, baked in a deep dish. What is a pot pie? Potpourri 800.
the answer is
Another name for potassium chloride, used mainly to make fertilizer. What is potash? Potpourri 1000.
the answer is
A book below literary standards produced quickly just to make a profit. Jenny. Potboiler. Correct. Education for 200.
the answer is
Veterans were first granted funds to continue their education under this 1944 bill. What is the GI Bill? Education for 400.
the answer is
U.S. educator who advised Teddy Roosevelt on and tapped on racial problems in politics. Booker T. Washington. Oh, okay.
the answer is
At most U.S. high school graduations, the second-ranking student gives the welcoming address. Who is the salutatorian? I'll go with 800, please, for education.
the answer is
The highest possible score on the math or verbal section of the Scholastic Aptitude Test. What is 800? 1000, education.
the answer is
The language spoken at the first U.S. kindergarten opened in 1856 in Watertown, Wisconsin. What is German? For 1,000. Alright, let's go with cartoons for 200.
the answer is
1945's The Friendly Ghost marked the first in a long series of cartoons featuring him, who is Casper. Cartoons 400.
the answer is
They were drawn identically, and the same man, Dayton Allen, did the voices for these magpies, who were Heckle and Jekyll. Cartoon 600.
the answer is
Jack Klugman could tell you this is Mr. Magoo's first name. Jenny. Oh, and she doesn't have a clue. Ha ha. Wrong. Quincy. Quincy. History for 200.
The answer is.
In the late 1400s, Torquemada was confessor to the Spanish queen before he led the Inquisition. Who is Isabella? History 400.
The answer is.
This series of holy wars against the Muslims led to establishment of trade with the Middle East. Or the Crusades. History for 600.
The answer is.
When this Mongol emperor was a little boy, his father, Yasuge, was poisoned by Tatars. Who is Genghis Khan? History 800.
The answer is.
Hitler's World War II efforts to regain Antwerp. It's also fought by those who gain too many pounds. What is the Battle of the Bulge? And let's go with history for 1000. Daily double. Big lead right now. Speaking of true daily double. $29,200 or a big fat goose egg. Here's the clue in history. The Act of Union divided England and Wales in 1563 during his reign. Who is Henry the Eighth? Yes! Alright. Cartoons 800.
The answer is.
Beanie and Cecil fought Dishonest John and Dudley Do-Right face this villain. Sid Snidely Whiplash. Maps for 200.
The answer is.
This continental name first appeared on a map in 1507. What is America? Maps for 400.
The answer is.
While the term map refers particularly to land areas, this term refers to marine maps. Jenny. Chart. Cartoons for 1000.
The answer is.
Peter Sellers played this character in films, and Marvin Miller was his cartoon voice. Who is Inspector Clouseau? I'll take maps for 600.
The answer is.
Until the 1500s, maps were based on writings of this Greek geographer and astronomer. Rob. Ptolemy. Maps for 800.
The answer is.
These types of fronts are indicated by triangles on weather maps. Cold fronts. Alright.
The answer is.
The vertical and horizontal lines of a map's grid cross at points called these. Cross at points called these. Coordinates. Alright. We have one category left to deal with, which is famous quotes. 200.
The answer is.
Answer. In Imitation of Christ, Thomas A. Kempis said, "Man proposes, but God does this." What is disposes? $400.
The answer is.
Bartlett's lists tennis anyone just before Here's Looking at You, Kid under this actor, who is Humphrey Bogart. $600.
The answer is.
In 1651, George Herbert wrote this as the best revenge. What is living well? Famous quotes. 800.
The answer is.
St. Jerome said in a letter, "No athlete is crowned but in the sweat of this." What is his brow? Now the last clue.
The answer is.
In The Picture of Dorian Gray, this author claimed all art is quite useless. Who's Oscar Wilde? So I have 33,400, Rob 4,600, Jenny 4,100. Final Jeopardy. Our category is potpourri. I'm gonna go 16,600. Either way, I cannot get caught. So here we go. Queen Anne's lace is the antithesis of this orange vegetable that has roots resembling it. The carrot. So everybody's going to end up getting a $50,000 from this game as well. Bringing the bank to $691,893.
The final Jeopardy answer is.
The carrot. Alright, and I'll see you all for that next segment, everybody. Catch you later, peeps.